So with interest rates going down, a lot of folks out there think the housing market's going to pick up and things are going to go back to normal. But honestly, I don't think that they are. So case in point, if we actually look at the 30-year fixed mortgage from where it dropped when the 10-year went from 5% all the way below 4%, the 30-year fixed mortgage also went down. But you know what didn't go up when it went down? Transaction volume. There wasn't a lot more houses just flying off the shelf with this drop in interest rates. So what do I expect in the housing market as we head into 2024? Well, we do know from what the Fed's last meeting in November is that they were going to look at making some interest rate cuts. How many? That's a debatable subject. For most folks, they think it's going to be 6, 5, but at the lowest, 3 rate cuts in the year of 2024. Now, evidently, the Fed is going to be looking at some key indicators, one of which is the current inflation rate. And right now that sits at right around 3%. They wanted to get below 3. Will that happen? That's a very debatable and heated subject. However, one of the biggest arguments against these rate cuts and that the Fed's going to have problems with is a very hot jobs market. And just recently, U.S. payrolls increased over 216,000 in December. That is a really big deal because why does that matter? Because something called cost push inflation. And when you have people who demand higher wages, that's naturally going to push inflation higher. So how do you cut rates when you're fighting inflation, but you have a hot jobs market? Oh, well, there's always revisions. Yeah. So maybe the jobs market isn't that good because this seems to be a common occurrence. When you get a jobs report and then a couple months later, they revise and go, whoopsie, we kind of made an overstatement, about 439,000 jobs. So is the Fed cutting rates because they think inflation's going down, or are they expecting something worse? Maybe something like a major recession's coming on? I don't think so. And in actuality, if you look at some other publications from analysts about housing, my views kind of stand in line with a lot of their views. And here are my projections for 2024's housing market. So even though people are extremely excited about mortgage rates going down, which is a great thing if you're trying to buy a house because affordability seems to be non-existent right now, and with interest rates going down, that allows buying power to increase for buyers looking for housing, which should bring on more supply because now all of a sudden, if you're a seller, hey, there's more demand coming in for housing. Maybe it is now a good time to sell our home. So mortgages will go down, inventory will start to come up. Additionally, with mortgage rates going down and inventory coming up, I think you'll start to see an increase in overall transactions in the real estate market. But what will occur in real estate prices overall? Well, to be fair, I think real estate prices will actually remain flat because I definitely think the economy is heading into what's called stagflation. So again, one of the main reasons why I think housing will remain flat and stagflation will start to persist in our economy is if you actually look at the recent inflation report, it is stubbornly stagnant. It didn't go down. It actually went up 1/10 of a point. But if you continue to look in the numbers, most student loan borrowers couldn't even make their initial student loan payments as those started back up. Consumer debt is soaring with credit card debt eclipsing almost $1 trillion. And many Americans say, well, they keep saying grocery inflation's going down, but I'm not seeing anything because I'm spending way more money than I need to be on food for my family. And then when you go back to this revision in the jobs report, are people actually getting jobs, the good jobs that you actually want with the perks and higher salaries? Actually, if you look deep in the data, people are losing their jobs at the ones that you really want, and the jobs that are made available, well, they really actually stink. So check it out. The 30-year fixed mortgage going down is an awesome thing for many folks that want to buy a house, that can afford to buy a house. But to be real with you, very few people can afford to buy a house, let alone pay their rent. As you've seen in this video, very few people can even afford to pay off their student loans from missing the first payment. Don't even include grocery prices, the cost of everything else where it's at today, and the job market. Let's talk about the job market. It's very unstable. A lot of people are scared about losing their jobs right now. My prediction in this housing market, you can say what you want in the comments. Feel free to jump in there. Housing, even though the rates are going down, you would think naturally the housing prices and everything would rally. I don't see that happening. If anything, I see this economy going into stagflation. And with that, home prices might remain up 1%, maybe 2% this year. Historically, housing usually goes anywhere between 3.5% to 5% year over year. I really could see anything from -1% to maybe as high as 2% in house prices. So I'm predicting a very flat housing market. The economy is not very strong right now. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But yes, the 30-year fixed mortgage is a lot better than where it was, but it's not going to be enough to really move housing prices anytime soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.